Can Epic's CEO prove that his store will be better than Steam, and also prove that Gabe has diamond teeth? What? Can Ubisoft future talent hold the company? CD Projekt Red actually orders a VR mod to be taken down? Let's jump into this news right now! Epic CEO says it heavily reinvest in EGS users, Epic Game Store users. Takes a pot shot at Steam chief Gabe Newell's yachts and diamond teeth. So what's happening here on this news? Well, it seems that all of this stemmed from the fact that one developer commented on Twitter that they experienced an increased number of sales of their game on Steam while having their game for free on Epic. So they were kind of, exposing the fact that even when their game was free on Epic, people were still inclined to pay to have that game on Steam. And obviously, Tim Sweeney took that opportunity to talk down on Steam, and he raises some points on how his store is actually good for developers, given how he allows for games to sell their monetary things inside the games without the hassle of paying 30% to the storefront. And I guess that's true, maybe he actually is a better store on that part, but he still needs to be a better store to the customers. So Steam has a lot of different functionalities, like the mods, the workshop mods integration. They have the community when we can talk about games. The review system is a little bit better, but I guess it could improve. And you can see the activity of your friends, you can see screenshots, photos of the games they are playing. There's a lot of things, the profile, everything. There's a lot of things. Maybe Epic Game Store doesn't need any of that. If they come and instead of licensing the games to us, they actually give the games, like we can keep the games and play without DRM, things like that. There are many ways you can try and offer a better service to the customers who are paying for the games inside your store. But if you just try to keep giving free games and don't try to understand it, and he even admits that the free games aren't as good as maybe their initial strategy thought it would be. I have seen reports of some devs and even some big games like Total War, I think Troy, not having a good performance because they chose to release on Epic Game Store. So there's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of nuance on whether the impact of these free games are actually beneficial to both developers. Well, to customers it's undeniable, but I mean, some people are clearly willing to pay to have the game in another storefront instead of yours. That really tells you something about, the user-friendly, how good is your store at capturing people's, desire to be using that store. And so I guess this tells a lot. There is potential, as I said before, for other storefronts to be better than Steam, but they need to understand why people prefer Steam right now and see if they can offer either something that Steam cannot offer. That's why I always hammer on about the licensing part. You license your games on Steam, but maybe if you can offer that we actually own our games, maybe this is already good enough and better than Steam. But if you cannot do that, try to look at other stuff. Make a store that's easier to use with the mods. I don't know, something. You have to come up with something. Otherwise, there's no reason why people will left Steam for your underperforming store, And guys, one thing that I want to point out in this article is that the Tim Sweeney had a tweet, taking this jab at the Steam's CEO, Gabe Newell, about, it seems to be a well-known fact that Gabe has purchased a couple of yachts in his life. But there is also edited photos circling on the internet with Gabe with diamond teeth, And I don't know if Tim Sweeney just made that for the lols and for the memes, or if he actually saw that photo and believed that Steam CEO's Gabe actually had diamond teeth placed in his mouth. But just as a piece of information if that needs to be said, it is not a real photo. Disclaimer. CD Projekt Red takes down Cyberpunk VR mod. Apparently, I already know about this news. The creator of the mod was charging a $10 fee, if I recall correctly, to download the mod. I don't know how exactly did he vet this process, but it turns out that CDPR, I mean, it's not surprising that they didn't want other people profiting for their IP, you know. Is that right or not? I don't know. Maybe he could have asked for donations, but regardless, that they demanded him to cease charging for the mod and make it free for everybody, and he just took down the mod. The mod looks incredible. Maybe I'll share some video here of how it looks like. I don't know how it plays. I never experienced Cyberpunk in VR, but it is a crazy story. Tell me in the comments what you think about this. Do you think CDPR is in the right? Like, obviously it's their IP, but do you think they should have left the modder to maybe profit from the mod and, you know, have that VR mod? Maybe some other group of people could try and develop the mod for free. I don't know, personally I think they are in the right. You're trying to profit from mods, especially when the company have not allowed it, you know. I don't think it's very much of a gray area, but an interesting topic, and I love Cyberpunk, and I thought I'd talk about it. But let's jump into the next news. Oh, it seems I got more news on that mod about Cyberpunk VR, right? Creator of the DMCA Cyberpunk 2077 VR mod says people are now pirating it to punish him for breaking CD Projekt's terms of service. This is crazy, guys. I don't know what to think about it. On one hand, I can understand if the guy does not want his work to be shared for free, but then again, he was using another intellectual property that was not his to decide how to earn money. Maybe he should have gone into creating an original thing. It's hard to understand if he should be punished by that or not, but I mean, you get what you take, right? Okay, after reading the article for a while, it seems that the software that this dude created is a VR software that works for many games, and it's not purely reserved for Cyberpunk. And I can see why he would want to charge up front. As I said, maybe it's his life work. He already has a Patreon. He paywalls these softwares in behind his Patreon. Yeah, and I don't know, it's an interesting situation. As I said, I don't know how much of that you can argue that the guy deserves to be pirated. You know, as far as I have read, he developed separated software. Obviously, if it's not that, if he actually is using proprietary code or assets or anything from these companies, and he's actually just doing, you know, half, 70% of the work. But I am inclined to believe in what I read, and it seems that he developed separate software, and it's kind of a gray area, and I expect to see more developments, maybe about this or maybe about mods being charged in general. We got the whole Bethesda mod creation club, which they also integrated into the main game and also charges for, you know, many mods. And is it better for customers? Is it better for the developers of mods? Who is to say right now? There's a lot of opinions on that. It doesn't seem like the public reception is very good, very keen into that. Mods are still a very perceived free thing. But yeah, it is an interesting development, and I want to know your guys' opinions about it. Ex-Assassin's Creed lead sues Ubisoft for around $1 million, alleging his exit was a disguised dismissal. It seems that Mark Alexis Cote maintains that his departure from the company last year wasn't as simple as him opting to leave. So, we already know that Ubisoft is under a lot of flack. Their stock has been down. It's just going down and down for a long time. They are losing a lot of IPs. They are trying to restructure the company to avoid a hostile takeover. There is a lot going on with Ubisoft. I think there's another news right here that I'll read along with this one. But they and it seems that they are losing the talent. From what I hear, from what I read from the article, it seems that what this ex-employee was saying is that all the new job offers that he had after 20 years working in the company were all basically demotions, you know, and he felt with no other option other than just quitting the company. And I guess this shows where Ubisoft priorities are, right? I understand that they are cutting costs and layoffs will be inevitable, but I guess if they really wanted to focus on the future, they would at least try to keep the talent, and maybe the executives could take a hit to the salary, as I bet they have been earning a lot of money in the last 20 years of Ubisoft, and I bet they can take a little hit to their earnings income, but I don't know how they will proceed. I don't know if these layoffs will hurt the company. I mean, I'm a game developer, and in my opinion, when a company loses a good, talented worker that was in the process of improving his talents, or at least had a huge amount of talent, that is very hard to replace. It takes a lot of time. So the investment to replace a talent that was already good takes so many months that it actually almost makes no sense to hire a new person just because they are cheap. And I'm saying months, but most of the times are years until that person gets the synergy with the team, gets the hang of all the tools. And again, if you just kept the old employee, if he's actually good, and as I said, in the process of improving his skills, he would have been even better by the point that the new employee gets to the skill level that the old employee had. So it really needs to be considered, and I guess the next news also ties into that theme. Don't call it a layoff. Ubisoft issues a full return to office order for all employees as it confirms more studio closures are coming. And these layoffs are just part of restructuring of Ubisoft trying to keep their heads afloat and stay positive with the earnings and everything executive related, right? As these layoffs happen in the company, as I said, a lot of talent is lost, and it seems that all the policies that the company has been adopting in the last years have been towards giving these soft layoff ideas, right? This article talks about how some of the employees were given options to try and leave the company, you know, they give them an offer, some benefits and some bonuses when leaving, and some of the employees didn't took that option, and then in later months they were also laid off. So, and also they were trying a new policy to make employees go back into work, right? So five days a week in the workplace instead of working remotely. I gotta say, I worked as a dev in remotely and also having a place to work. It is actually very good to be in the same physical place as your team, because you guys can discuss about the development work strategies and a lot of these stuff. But I also see how remote work is also possible for developing games. So it's a double-edged sword when a company decides to either go full remote work or full in local work. You know, you cannot do it remotely. I guess to each its own, but in this case it is argued that Ubisoft did this in a way to quietly pressure some of the people who would not adjust to working in person, you know, to actually quit without Ubisoft having to lay off those people. So it goes to show how much the company is restructuring, and let's see how this will bode to the future of Ubisoft. On Epic Games Store, Steam Storefront, Good Old Games, what's your opinion on these storefronts? Do you think any of them is better? What's your take on the Epic Games Store? Do you think they have a chance against Steam? Do you think Good Old Games is better? What do you think they should do to actually improve and garner a better public reception? I'm curious to hear you guys' opinions about these subjects. What are your thoughts on Ubisoft? What do you think the future for Ubisoft holds? Do you think they should try and keep their talent, or do you think they should clean house try with new people and just keep the main IPs that they are trying to working on. I've read some reports that they were working on so many IPs. I thought they were going to clean the house, but they even mentioned Beyond Good and Evil, and I'm like, what the fuck, are you guys pretending that they were developing this game? I want to know your opinions about CD Projekt Red and the VR mod. Do you guys think that the mod should be free? It should be pirated? Do you think it's a legit separate software that doesn't deserve to be pirated? But maybe there's a middle ground to be had there between how you sell this game to people and how it is available. I don't know. As always, I will see you on the next video. I'm sorry I haven't done a lot of long format videos. I haven't been doing a lot of lives. I have some projects, you know, work. I have been working a lot, and I do want to make more long format videos. I have some ideas. I also have some shorts and some fun things that I want to do, some comedic sketches. I also have some games that I want to play live. There's a lot of things that I actually want to do, but you know, time is a constraint. But tell me in the comments, guys, do you miss any other form of video that I do? I'm curious to hear about that too. And I'll see you guys on the next one. This has been for a long time and I have to go, but I'll see you on the next one. I'll try to have a video this week, and tell me in the comments if you want me to push out a video this week, but I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much, guys, and bye bye.